we'll start off with the topic. The topic that we have to do today is regional planning. Regional planning is a part of paper 1 as well as paper 2. When I do the intertwining, if I look at the questions, my suggestion to you would be every time that you start off any unit for your preparing for your optional or preparing for any GS also, try to do the profiling of the questions. कौन से questions पूछे हैं, कैसे questions पूछे हैं. Let us understand what are the questions that have been asked. Fine. So if I talk about in your paper 1, the part B dimension, you have your regional geography. What are the topics? The topics of the units are concept of regions. If you just look at the topic, the concept of regions. We'll just do the tick marking before we actually move on to discussion. Concept of regions, the method of regionalization, the concept of regions and the method of regionalization. Then you have the topic of growth center and growth poles. The topic like regional imbalances and regional developmental strategies. Regional imbalances and regional developmental studies, strategies. Looking at the next topic you have is your environmental issues in regional planning. Environmental issues in regional planning. This is about the topics that you have. If I talk about, see, when you are looking at the questions, let's understand ki unit mein questions kaise पूछता है. Last year they asked a question about the concept of regions and the method of demarcation of the region. So what is a region? I'm just revising it for you quickly so that we start off the discussion on a different plane. The first topic is concept of region, types of regions and methods of regions. The types of regions and method of region. What is a region? A region is any segment of space which has some homogeneity. Homogeneity in the criteria, which is homogeneous as one unit and is different from the other unit. That is a region. What are the types of region? Formal region and functional region. Okay. So you can have types of region as formal region, nodal region and the functional region. This is given by Whittlesey. Whittlesey का classification है कि formal region होगा, homogeneous criteria. You can have a nodal region which is connected by some functions, node hai and connection hai, and then you have a planning region. Planning region can be both formal as well as nodal. Formal plus nodal, that will have planning. Planning region के कुछ अपने criteria हैं. The criteria of planning region is the size should be enough so as to accommodate the resources. अपने resources को utilize कर सकता है. Should take care of its population. So all of these basics are in place, right? कि regions क्या हैं? Types of regions क्या है? Methodologies क्या है regionalization की? Just revising. Region क्या है? A homogeneous space, different from others. What are the types of region? Types of region you can classify as per Whittlesey's classification. आपने जो मुझे definition दी है, that is Whittlesey's classification, nodal, formal and planning regions. Nodal, formal or the planning regions. Okay. You can have various other types of regions also. पूरी geography है क्या? The whole geography is nothing but the study of regions. Regional dimension ही तो है जो geography को उसका base देता है. Otherwise you take everything. So in your it is region that gives you the basis for geography. Humanistic geography के अपने regions हैं. I can have regions like I can have a natural region. I can have a humanistic regions. A natural region is a region which is distinguished by its natural factors. Mountainous region, rainfall regions, the physiographic regions, these are natural regions. What are human regions? That has some element of human dimensions. जो humanistic geography लाया था. Whittlesey का PACE is what? Human region. Any cultural region is what? Humanistic region. So region that is using some human dimension criteria. Vidal's PACE. You have Whittlesey ka Compage. That is also a humanistic region. The total region, if I talk about cultural source, cultural landscape, Karl source cultural landscape, that is your humanistic region. So region koi bhi ho sakta hai. You can have a natural region, you can have a humanistic region. You can also have a classification that is given by Whittlesey's, which is your formal region, nodal region and planning region. This is done. The question that was asked in the examination was here. This was asked in 2021. Suggest criteria, indicators and technique for the delimitation of the formal regions. This is saying suggest criteria, techniques for the demarcation of for the delimitation of the local formal regions. So formal regions is a region that is homogeneous, that we know. वो पूछ रहे हैं कुछ क्राइटेरिया सजेस्ट करो और कुछ टेक्निक सजेस्ट करो फॉर द डिमार्केशन. सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट? मेथोडोलॉजीज ऑफ regionalization. What are the methodologies of regionalization? You have fixed index method, All of you just do the listing, just at least do the listing कि हाँ कौन सी methodologies. If you don't know, if you know, that is fine. So methodologies for demarcation: 1, fixed index, fixed value method. You can have weighted average, the weighted average method. You can have relative intensity method. All the three are statistical methods. All the three use stats. All the three use maths and the formulas. You can also have an empirical basis, जो बुआशी ने किया, देख लिया, and then set empirical basis पे you have this one, the empirical method of regionalization. You can have a cluster method of regionalization. These are what? These are the methodologies for demarcation of formal regions. These are the methods for demarcation of the formal regions. Regions, you say formal, you said nodal, you said planning. In the formal region, जिसका homogeneous criteria है, I can observe it and say it is empirical. I can use some statistics. On the basis of statistic, I can use one index, that is fixed index. I can use various index, relative index. You can use weighted average. The third criteria is about your cluster index, the cluster method, where you are going for some dots. You see the concentration, you are going for the cluster method. This is about formal, any formal region जिसका homogeneous criteria उसको कैसे हम demarcate करें. What about the nodal region? How do you demarcate a nodal region? You can have all the gravity models. You can have gravity models, like you can have flow analysis, you can have Thiessen polygon, you can have proximal boundary method, you can have gravity models. Okay? So you have flow analysis, you can have gravity models, you can have Thiessen polygon, proximal boundary method. यही sphere of urban influence पे हम use करते हैं. Proximal boundary method, Thiessen polygon method, gravity methods, flow methods. ठीक है? So this is about this topic. What is a region? What is a type of region? What is the methodologies of region? When I talk about the next one, that is your growth pole and growth center. This is related to your models and theories. There are two topics in growth pole and growth center. One is the idea given by Peru and Baudeville, the concept, the theory part, and the other thing that you should know is R.P. Mishra's model. Growth pole, growth center and growth points. जो उन्होंने इंडिया के लिए बात किया था, that we should go for decentralized development. At certain places you will have growth pole, at certain places you will have growth point, at certain places you will have the growth centers. Depending on the population size, you can select a growth center, the smallest one, उससे growth point. The growth point is the smallest one, उससे बड़ा growth center, उससे बड़ा growth pole. ठीक है, that's the idea. If I talk about this issue, the environmental issues in the regional planning, I want you to write a question for this. इसके ऊपर एक question लिखो and then let's do the brainstorming for this question. Write the question. The question is environmental issues. The environmental issues forms an integral part of geography and regional planning, yet they are ignored. Yet they are ignored. Analyze. Okay. So think about this question for 2 minutes. क्या लिखोगे? क्या points लिखेंगे? Think about it. How will you introduce? What is the structure? What is the structure? I don't want to know the content for now. Environmental issues बहुत important aspect है regional planning का, but ignore करते हैं. What should the structure be? What will you introduce in the starting? What will you write in the body? What kind of conclusion will it have? How will you start off? How will you start off your introduction? Yes, you can get your geography here. When you talk about geography, when I talk about regional development, there are many principles of regional development. What are the principles for regional development? The principle of कभी भी कोई region को develop करना है तो कुछ principles हैं, right? The principles like the principle of regional developmental principle. What are the principles? The principle of vertical unity, the principle of horizontal unity, the principle of space time continuum. ये सुने हैं principles? The space time continuous. One of the principle is comprehensive regional development. Comprehensive regional development. ये सब principles हैं. इसमें एक principle कौन सा है? The principle of ecological sustainability. The principle of ecological sustainability. So you can start off with environmental issues, no problem. You can start off with SDG better confusion में होगा. You can start off with maintaining the importance of environment. But what is important is you get yourself geography. आप geography के student हो, so you can start off by saying that there are many principles. that had to be upheld in the regional development, and one of them principle is what? Is ecological sustainability. So likho, write something. Of the 7 principle mentioned for regional planning, maintaining ecological equilibrium is one of the principles, which mentions that regional planning should be carried out without disturbing ecological balance. However, under technocentric form of development, environmental issues have been ignored. ठीक है? Technocentric form of development समझ आ रहा है? Right? When I talk about man-environment relation, right? When I talk about man-environment relation, there are two forms. One is who came first, man came first or environment came first. So if it is man, if it is man who's actually controlling the environment, that we call as technocentrism. It is the environment that controls the man. It is about ecocentrism. So under technocentrism, it is like man can develop technology and tackle any problem. Whether under ecocentrism, it is we have to respect the ecological capacity. ठीक है, उसमें भी this is given by O. Riordan. You about in your thoughts perspective, the man-environment relation is governed by O. Riordan. उन्होंने बोला कि whether man is dominant or the environment is dominant. If man is dominant, it is called as technocentric form of development. What we follow, we try to control everything. When you have to respect the nature, it is called as ecocentric form of development. Respect the carrying capacity, follow the nature's will, otherwise it will be harmed. बोलते हैं ना, nature protects only when it is protected. So technocentric and ecocentric. हम क्या करते हैं? Technocentric form of development करते हैं. We ignore the environmental principles. Try to very subtly put your geography. बहुत brazen use नहीं चाहिए होगा, but जो keywords हैं, technocentric, ecological principles, very subtly you can put and tell that हाँ आप geography का paper लिख रहे हो. तो एक principle है ecological principle. Then coming on to the main question, the question was environment forms an integral part of regional planning, yet it is ignored. अब मेन पार्ट पे आते हैं. हमने बता दिया कि हाँ एनवायरमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, रीजनल डेवलपमेंट के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब हाउ इट इज इग्नोर्ड? एनवायरमेंटल प्लानिंग is very important part of development, yet it is ignored. The dimension part, what will you write in the dimension part? How is environment planning ignored? How has our development been throughout? What do we consider development? हमारी idea क्या थी development की? The development idea was always about industrial development. It was always about economic development. And what got ignored? This got ignored. The environment got ignored. Only in 1970s when it start getting into the planning again. तो क्यों हम करते हैं? First, the idea of development is technocentric. The idea of development is economic growth. लिखो first that the environment is important but ignored. The environment issues are important but ignored because regional planning historically has been industrialization led development planning and has been limited to construction of industries, infrastructure, communication, etc., ignoring environmental issues. Environment concerns was brought in regional planning by Glinkinson, Glinkinson. Glinkinson. He was the one who first talked about getting the regional planning in environment. इसके पहले हम industrialized based development plan करते थे. Second, ignorance of environmental issues while site selection. If you are selecting any site for regional development, it is important to take into consideration the environmental concerns. This is nothing but your applied geomorphology also. You might have studied that in your applied geomorphology, that you need to at least know the problems. Where is the groundwater? Is it is the region prone to flooding or not? These are environmental issues. We tend to ignore this. While we are planning for them. So the disaster vulnerability in terms of cloudburst, floods, droughts should be an important criteria. See, I'm saying on my one hand is environmental issues. I should incorporate them in regional planning, but I am ignoring them. What do you mean by regional planning? For us, regional development was always about industrial-led development. For while you are selecting any site, region को develop करो, I should take into consideration environmental issues. So site selection, ignorance of environmental issues in site selection. इसमें हम लिखा रहे हैं that disaster vulnerability in form of clouds, drought, cloudburst, floods, drought should be an important criteria. For regional development and planning for industries, settlements, economic infrastructure. ठीक है, आपको इंडस्ट्री लगानी है, फैक्ट्री बनानी है, रीजनल डेवलप करना है तो आपको डिजास्टर वल्नरेबिलिटी पता होना चाहिए, बट द इश्यूज आर इग्नोर्ड, right? Can you relate this? We tend to have settlement in the flood prone zone. यही वॉलपर्ट ने भी बोला था while studying that man is not a maximizer, man is a satisfier. So this was actually said by Walport also in behavioral geography. तो can I link that कि हाँ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं environmental issues को, disaster vulnerability को ध्यान रखना, but we tend to ignore. You can write this, that agriculture and settlements are planned in flood prone areas. You can simply in bracket write study by Walport in behavioral geography. Okay, so this is not right. The second point, so I'm trying to say that you need not always, it is very important to score marks, it is very important that you try to subtly put your words. Technocentric, Walport, you talk about the principles of regional development, the 7 principles, बहुत subtly भी आप put कर सकते हो और आप अपने आंसर को geographical बना सकते हो. ठीक है, हमेशा केस स्टडी रहेगा ऐसा नहीं है, हमेशा रीजनल प्लानिंग वाला कंसेप्ट रहेगा ऐसा नहीं है, बट देन एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू राइट लाइक अ ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल वुड बी राइटिंग. ठीक है, समथिंग दैट योर जीएस वुड नॉट बी देयर. तो कुछ ऐसा एलिमेंट्स रखो ताकि एग्जामिनर को लगे हाँ एप्लीकेशन हो रही है, सटली ही एप्लीकेशन हो रही है. ठीक है, राइट अबाउट. सो हमने देखा कि साइट सिलेक्शन के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपका रीजनल डेवलपमेंट का कंसेप्ट भी क्या है. थर्ड वन, द इग्नोरेंस ऑफ issues like land and water pollution. Environmental issues are ignored in agriculture planning and agriculture based developmental planning. You can just write a case study of a river, the most polluted river of the world. ठीक है, that is your river Citarum, Citarum, river Citarum, the most polluted river in the world. It's not us, ठीक है, हमारे यहाँ पे नहीं है. Most polluted river in the world has been choked with chemicals, rubbers. The level of lead in the river is 1,000 times more than the limit set by the US Environment Protection Agency. This is due to lack of integration of environmental concerns in regional planning. Indonesia's Citarum River. ठीक है, so you don't consider while selecting site, your idea of development is flawed. Your land water issues, river planning is not done while you go for agriculture and agriculture based development planning. Similarly, there is ignorance of environmental issues for groundwater, management of floodplain, land zonation criteria, waste management. आपके पास case studies हैं already. You can talk about the reducing groundwater level in Aralsi, Sirdaria, Amur excessive use of water, this falling. You can write this case study of Sir Darya, Amur Darya. There are environmental issues which are important, and they are important because of sustainable development goals. They are important because of climate change. They are important because of the rise of the disasters due to climate change. However, while we are planning for regional development, we tend to ignore because development की idea flawed है और बाकी सारे issues जो है आपके पास ना expertise है ना ही आप cater करते हैं. ठीक है, what is the solution? करें क्या? What is the solution? You will write solution only, no? In conclusion, what else will you write? Environment code, you will take into consideration what else? Polluter prey principle, EIA, ACR, agroclimatic regionalization, study of the hydrological studies, hydro capacity of the region. So right, the solution lies in disaster management, hydrological studies, ACR, AER. Case study is Sponge City of China. Fine. Environmental issues in the regional planning. There has been a question that has been asked in the examination. The question was similar to this. जब भी environmental issues आएगा regional planning में, try to at least use this. कि हाँ, what are the environmental issues in regional planning? What question has been asked? The environmental issues are not adequately addressed in regional planning. Comment. This was asked in 2021 कि environmental issues adequately addressed नहीं हुए हैं regional planning में. You have to comment. The second type of question that has come from this topic is disaster induced displacement. They possess serious challenge. Mention the causes, consequences and solution. ठीक है, तो disaster induced displacement के कारण problem हो सकता है. That is what they asked. Give the next question that they have asked in this. They have asked this question, this topic. ये वाला जो topic है 2016 में, 17 में, 21 में again. 15 में, so they have every time they are asking this question 15, 16, 17, 21. So there is a possibility that yes, they touch upon this topic. Wherever they are asking about this topic, try to use these things. Case study आपके पास ready होनी चाहिए. You should have the idea about what do we mean by environmental issues and what do you mean by regional developmental and planning. Environmental issues यानी क्या? You take into consideration disaster management. And when I talk about environmental issues and regional planning, it is about, when you say environmental issues, it is about planning for land, water, land resource, water resource. When you say land and water resource, it is about both utilization capacity and also about the carrying capacity. कितना pollute कर सकते हो, कितना pollute नहीं कर सकते हो, कितना utilize कर सकते हो, कितना utilize नहीं कर सकते हो. When you say environmental issues, it is also about disaster management. When I say environmental issues, it is also about the land-based zonation or the zonation principle है, coastal regulation zone, environment sensitive areas. So it is also about zonation principle, disaster management, land and water. It is also about assimilation capacity of the ecosystem. How much can your ecosystem assimilate the waste that you generate? The waste generated. These are the environmental issues. And this all is summed up as what? Sustainable development. अच्छा, इसमें pollution भी लिख सकते हैं. The pollution capacity. And all this is summed up in ecological principle, sustainable development. Sustainable developmental principle. SDG 11, SDG 14, SDG 13, SDG 17, partnership. ठीक है? Right, one more question. Geography is about development, full stop. Geography endows and geography deprives. Do you agree with this? Question mark, justify. What is the question asking? Limitations of geography. How geography plays an important role in development and underdevelopment. How geography plays an important role in development and underdevelopment. Geography endows, geography deprives. Geography plays a very important role in development of a region. Geography also plays a very important role in the underdevelopment. तो regional imbalance जो बोल रहे हो उसमें geography का importance बताना. What is geography? Geography, it's about all the aspects that you study. It is about physical resource. It is also about man environment relation. It is also about the human dimension. ठीक है? तो you have to write about those. Geography endows and geography deprives. सोचो कुछ points. Think about some points that you will write. What all is geography and how does geography endow and how does geography deprive? Make a column. On one side, geography endows. On the other side, geography deprives. Just write the keywords. What is it asking? It is asking that geography is an important parameter. Geography plays an important role in the deprivation, in the development as well as underdevelopment. आपने ये बता दिया that yes, geography is a key differentiator. It plays an important role, especially the factors like accessibility, factors like resource availability, factors like the availability of the human, not just the physical geography but also human geography. उसके बाद आपने diagram बता दिया. In the diagram you are telling what are the regions which are developed, what are the regions which are underdeveloped. Like you talk about Italy north and south, talk about Greece, talk about brand line per se, the developed and the underdeveloped. Brand line है, ठीक है, आपने उसको दिखाया. Regions के अंदर भी जो differences हैं वो भी दिखाया. Then you can say yes, geography endows the physical geography as well as human geography. Both of them, they help in development. There's geography that is depriving, especially the places like harsh climate. You cannot take the soil to the barren land and then expect cultivation. What was this? Neo-determinism, Griffith, Taylor. It is not expected that you can take the 9 out of 10. It is the nature that holds the upper hand. ठीक है? So you will have to tell yes, how does geography even deprives, and then you can write conclusion में कि it is not just geography but also other factors like the type of economy, the type of structure, suprastructure. डेविड हार्वे ने ये बात की थी कि कैसे सिटी की प्लानिंग करते हो, that decides deprivation and underdevelopment. David Harvey, the concept of social justice in the city, right? So you can try to link that dimension also. Write something. First point or introduction. Geography is a key differentiator in determining region's development and underdevelopment. Region favored with features like fertile agriculture, monsoon rainfall, connectivity with port, roads and railways, accessibility, topography are mostly developed regions than their counterpart with lack of resource and connectivity. This leads to geographical imbalance. Just draw a world map and the brand line. World map and the brand line. और you simply write world map and brand line ताकि आपको याद रहे कि यहाँ brand line लिखना है, world map बनाना है, ठीक है. और जगह के भी regional imbalances लिखें, like Italy, north versus south. In Italy there is north versus south. South is backward, agriculturally backward region versus north is advanced industrial region. North is advanced industrial region. US, Bowash conurbation versus the Appalachia, the Appalachian region. Underdeveloped area. Appalachia is underdeveloped, characterized by rural poverty. Italy है, US है. Region versus develop imbalances दिखा रहे. Talk about Canada. ठीक है. Maritime regions. The maritime provinces are backward in Canada. Harsh climate. Sweden, Finland, Norway. North versus south. Sweden, Finland, Norway. North versus south. तीनों में. North is very very harsh climate. Africa. Sahel versus South Africa. Sahel is desertification and South Africa is developed. Temperate grasslands, Mediterranean vegetation hai. In Japan also, Japan you have some plain areas which are developed, mountainous regions sparsely populated. Japan, Honshu mein you have Nobi plain, Kanto plain, Osaka plain, Nobi, N-O-B-I, Nobi, Kanto, K-A-N-T-O, Kanto, Osaka plain versus the southern area of Shikoku. Shikoku Island, S-H-I-K-O-K-U, Shikoku Island. जो southern area है Shikoku की वो बहुत ही mountainous है. Bracket में you can write mountainous and sparsely populated, right? So can you see geography endowing and geography depriving? ये Sahel versus South Africa perfect example. Sahel में desertification, South Africa में there is development. Plain versus mountainous, Japan examples. Conurbation, Bowash and Appalachia near to each other, but difficult topography. North of the Scandinavia, harsh climate, not as developed. So geography is endowing as well as geography is depriving. How is geography endowing? Give the heading geography endows. Physical geographical factors. Areas with difficult terrain, climate, extreme climate and less resources are deprived in backward regions. You can talk about first example backwardness in Sahel. Backwardness in Sahel due to harsh soil, harsh climate. ठीक है. So geography is depriving. Harsh climate, harsh resources, harsh geographical condition. Second example लिख सकते हो. The western part of Australia, deserts है पूरा. The western part of Australia, deserts of Australia versus the coastal region, East Australia. The western China with deserts like Taklamakan, Gobi versus the eastern and the southern coast consisting of fertile regions with rivers like Yangtze River, Pearl River, Hwanghae River. You can also give an example of low resource base. एक तो यहाँ पे terrain difficult है, climate difficult है. हमने examples भी दिए. जब अगर resource base ही कम है तो भी development compromise होगा. Low resource base. Example Africa. They have low iron ore, no good ports and plateau regions and therefore was considered to be dark continent. The above factors are based on environmental determinism, climatic determinism. Write about Griffith Taylor's idea of man can't take fertilizers to barren soil. ठीक है, तो geography deprive करती है. This is physical geography depriving. You also have human geographical factors leading to imbalances. Human factors leading to underdevelopment. One is demographic attributes have been taken. वो ले गया, वो नहीं बताना है, अब और कोई बताना है. Demographic attributes. Workforce है, बड़ा workforce है, young population है, there is dividend. There can be more growth prospect. उसको छोड़ के socio-economic structures, ठीक है, और वही demographic attributes, skill set of the population, the technological development of the country, the economy. ठीक है, so you can also and also the historical factors, colonization. ठीक है, that has also been the human factors only. Human factors leading to deprivation, right? The first one. The historical factors like colonization, conflict prone zones can be deprived of developmental benefits. Second, the type of economy. grazing economy, dry crops and subsistence based economy versus modern agricultural practices. Example, सूडान वर्सेस इजराइल, दोनों ही ड्राई रीजन्स है, दोनों को ही फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी ने खराब किया हुआ है, बट स्टिल द टाइप ऑफ इकोनॉमी इज डिफरेंट, द लेवल ऑफ the technological proficiency of the government is deprived. Both of them are deprived by physical geography, but then the type of economy, the technological proficiency is playing an important role versus in the development of one and the underdevelopment of other. Like both dry regions get different agricultural practices. Third, you can write the demographic attributes. You can talk about the composition of population, sex ratio, employment, skill set of the population, etc. ठीक है? So geography is endowing, geography is also depriving, human geography as well as physical geography. Conclusion में क्या लिखेंगे? फिर way forward लिखोगे. You'll write the way forward. Geography is a key component. Geography is a key component that decides regional development and underdevelopment. Therefore, it is wise to use geography to tackle regional imbalances, जैसे कि suitable growth pole growth centers, RP Mishra's model, suitable growth pole growth center, RP Mishra model. इसी के साथ एक ब्रैकेट में लिख सकते हो, 1 district 1 product. यही तो कर रहे हैं हम, क्या कर रहे हैं? ग्रोथ पोल्स ग्रोथ पॉइंट्स ग्रोथ सेंटर्स एस्टैब्लिश कर रहे हैं, स्मॉल ग्रोथ पॉइंट्स, 1 district 1 प्रोडक्ट. तो आपने ग्रोथ पोल्स और ग्रोथ पॉइंट्स को सूटेबली यूज करना चाहिए, ठीक है. And other schemes like agroclimatic regionalization and other things also, and other things like agroclimatic regionalization, etc. Okay, let's keep a generic theme. 2 questions हुए हैं, एक environmental issue हुआ है, एक आपका geography endowing, geography depriving हुआ. Let's keep a generic theme, and this will also be helpful for you for your trade, transport and communication. Any transport. See, if you want to develop a region, what do you want to do for a region? अगर आपको किसी region को develop करना है, you have to plan for the agriculture, you have to improve, you have to plan for the resources, you have to utilize the geography. यही देख रहे हो, geography utilize करो, growth center, growth point, growth poles बनाए, ठीक है, suitable growth place बनाए, accessibility करेंगे. Even if you have created a growth pole, even if you've created a growth point, do you think there would be regional development? Not always. Bhilai being the perfect example, we wanted to establish a growth pole and then had to spread the development. For you to spread the development, what you want to have? You want to have accessibility, you have to have connectivity, you have to have functional linkages. ठीक है, तो ये करना है. Functional linkages कैसे करेंगे? Via, you can give employment, skill, that is one part. You can also develop it via transport. ठीक है, तो I want to ask you as a geography student that how do any transport leads to regional development? You try to link your theories and you can think about it. The heading is the role of transport system in regional development. ठीक है, fine. So horizontal integration of the area. Horizontal क्या? Integration of the area. Fine. Okay. Second क्या बोला? Diffusion of innovation. Third, हाँ, spread effect. वही हुआ ना, इंटीग्रिंग, स्प्रेड इफेक्ट. यही तो है कि इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हो एरिया को और स्प्रेड इफेक्ट हो रहा है. और क्रिएशन ऑफ ग्रोथ पोल्स, ग्रोथ सेंटर्स, ग्रोथ पॉइंट्स. द ट्रांसपोर्ट डिटरमाइनिंग डेवलपमेंट, ट्रांसपोर्ट अफेक्टिंग द टाइप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट. कनेक्टिविटी, एक्सेसिबिलिटी बेसिकली. ठीक है, एक्सेसिबिलिटी, मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट. ठीक है, एक 1 इन्वेस्टमेंट, 1 rupee spent for the development of transport leads to the 5 to 6 rupees benefit in the form of generation of employment. Accessibility benefits, multiplier effect. Accessibility, resource rich region and resource poor region. और point to point connection वही आपका, we're talking about what? Type of development. Ribbon is point to point only. Transport oriented development. Walkability, the entire thing gets developed. Regional development होता है. अगर वो मॉडल पे जाना है, you can talk about transport oriented developmental model, TOD मॉडल. हाँ आएंगे, पर मैं कह रही हूँ कि सबसे ज्यादा अच्छा एग्जाम्पल ये हो जाएगा कि आप अगर आप सेटलमेंट को लिंक ही करना चाह रहे हो तो आप TOD करो. You would develop the transport, you will have the industrial development side by side. You will have the walkability and you will have the residential developing side by side. Environmental sustainability to transport. Benefit of transport nahi na. Transport, environmental sustainability, benefits of transport nahi पूछ रही हूँ. Transport leading to regional development. How is transport leading to regional development? That is not a wrong point, but that is not an appropriate point here. Regional development. आप advantages of transport बता रहे हो कि ट्रैफिक को वो करेगा. Regional development कैसे करेगा? कैसे? Like सही बता रहे हो कि एग्रीकल्चर डेवलप होगा. इससे अच्छा वॉन्थ्यूनन लिंक करो. अगर ट्रांसपोर्ट आएगा, सेंटर्स मार्केट आएंगे तो क्या बढ़ेगा? एग्रीकल्चर इंटेंसिटी एंड एग्रीकल्चर का बेनिफिट. दैट इज व्हाट वॉन्थ्यूनन सेड. नो, जो मार्केट के पास है उसका सबसे ज्यादा इंटेंसिव यूज लैंड है और सबसे ज्यादा फायदा भी उसको होता है. तो सही कह रहे हो, एग्रीकल्चर डेवलप करेगा, बट लिंक सही करो. हाँ, तो इंटेंसिटी बढ़ाएगा, एक्सेसिबिलिटी टू मार्केट बढ़ेगा. ये लिखो. मार्केट गार्डनिंग परफेक्ट एग्जांपल है. ट्रांसपोर्ट लीडिंग टू इंक्रीज इन द इंटेंसिटी एंड द वैल्यू ऑफ द एग्रीकल्चरल कमोडिटीज. लिंक सही करो. लिखो कुछ, ये कहीं पे भी यूज करना. ट्रांसपोर्ट और रीजनल डेवलपमेंट आया. सी, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट ट्रेड, ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड कम्युनिकेशन एज अ यूनिट, it is always, every question they are asking about the importance of port for regional development, importance of airway for regional development, importance of roadway for regional development, importance of railway for regional development. कुछ generic points लिख लो, examples के साथ link करते जाओ. ठीक है. We'll see what more can be added. First, each mode of transportation offers different economic opportunities for regional development via different methods. First, transportation is important for the development of agriculture, as transport center creates new market centers and has increased, and this leads to increased intensity of agriculture near to market center. In bracket you can write Wonthunen's idea of more agriculture intensity near urban centers. Okay. Second, आपका agriculture का intensity बढ़ेगा, regional development होगा अगर transport आया तो. ठीक है, ऐसा मैं नहीं, Wonthhunen कह रहे. Second, road helps in, or transportation helps in spreading of information and innovation. Spreading of information and innovation. Example, railways spread green revolution from one area to another area, and roadways penetrated the information, and roadways help in penetration of information to rural hinterland. Right? Transportation determines labor cost and mobility. Labor cost and mobility. Example, critical isodapane can be enlarged with the help of transport. Example, the rise of Bangalore as software city due to availability of labor with the help of better connectivity. Transportation helps in cultural diffusion. ठीक है, कल्चर के डिफ्यूजन हेल्प करता है. यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट वन लाइन. ईच मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट प्रमोट्स इट्स ओन टाइप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है, जैसे पोर्ट से अलग डेवलपमेंट होता है, रेलवे से अलग होता है, रोड से अलग डेवलपमेंट होता है, एयरपोर्ट्स, हेलीपैड से अलग फॉर्म ऑफ डेवलपमेंट होता है. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, रोड से होएगा रिबन, या रेलवे से होता है रिबन फॉर्म ऑफ development. The roads and railways promote ribbon form of development. Corridor type of development. Corridor ही पूरा डेवलप हो. ठीक है. That is why no, the price increases. अगर रोड आने वाला होता है, अगर रेलवे आने वाली होती है, तो प्राइस बढ़ जाता है, बिकॉज पता है कि अब क्या होगा, entire region would be developed. There is high rising prices of Noida because they know that probably there would be airport that would be developed. The region would develop. Then this will lead to development of the entire region. So the land prices start increasing. So each one, they promote their own type of development. Road and railway, they promote corridor type of development. And railway station, जो railway stations होता है, they promote terminal type of development. Terminate जहाँ होगा, terminal type of development. Okay, right? Airports leads to terminal type of development. Airports lead to terminal type of development with hierarchy of the growth pools. Like international airport can become first order growth pole. Regional airports can become second order growth centers, and helipads can become growth points. सो हर एक ट्रांसपोर्ट अपने फॉर्म ऑफ डेवलपमेंट करता है. कैसे डेवलपमेंट करता है? बिकॉज इट इज बूस्टिंग दी कनेक्टिविटी, मोबिलिटी, critical isodapane. It is talking about agriculture development. Von Thunen's idea. It leads to promotion of diffusion of innovation. Hagerstrand, time, space, geography, right? There are two constraints in geography, space constraints and time constraint. Transport आया तो क्या हो गया आपका? Space constraint कम हो गया, तो diffusion of innovation. Hagerstrand's time, space, geography. You can talk about that. Also, there is one model which talked about the role of transportation and development. If you know that, Rostov, W. Rostov, also linked to what? Transport and development, right? As per Rostov, as per W. Rostov, there is a link between transport and development. In traditional society, bullock cart and road is the main form of transport. Preconditions to take off. Precondition to take off. There is emergence of railways and metalled roadways and metalled roadways. तभी तो क्या कहते हैं, ब्रिटिश ने प्री कंडीशन ऑफ टेक ऑफ स्टेज दिया, बिकॉज एज पर हिम द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ रेलवेज एंड मेटल रोडवेज लीड्स टू द वन, बट इट्स अ वेरी ए हिस्टोरिकल, इट्स अ वेरी एथ्रोसेंट्रिक फॉर्म ऑफ आइडिया. ठीक है, सिर्फ ब्रिटिश आए, रेलवे बनाई तो डेवलपमेंट हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. बट हाँ, उनके हिसाब से रेलवे लीड्स टू डेवलपमेंट. एट द स्टेज ऑफ प्री कंडीशंस टू टेक ऑफ देयर इज railway that is developed. Third, the take-off stage. The take-off stage. Road and railway develops fast, and the sea transport grows too. Then there is drive to maturity. Drive to maturity. Emergence of airways, and the last one is age of mass consumption. The airways become a dominant mode of transportation. ठीक है, तो you can use it in any transport. Talk about road, talk about railway, talk about ports. ठीक है, आप किसी में भी ये पॉइंट्स को यूज कर सकते हो, पोर्ट्स में भी, रोड में भी, रेलवे में भी. ठीक है, यू कैन यूज दिस. दैट हाउ डू ट्रांसपोर्ट एक्चुअली लीड्स टू डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ रीजन. कनेक्टिविटी की बात कर रहे थे, एग्रीकल्चर की बात कर रहे थे, मोबिलिटी की बात कर रहे थे, बट देन लिंक इट टू दी थियोरीज. रोस्टोव से लिंक करना, वॉन थ्यूरेन से लिंक करना. टॉक अबाउट एग्जाम्पल्स, राइज ऑफ बैंगलोर as because of the critical isodapane and various other things. वेबर की भी आइडिया यूज करना. डिफ्यूजन ऑफ इनोवेशन की बात करो तो हैगरस्टैंड एंड टाइम स्पेस ज्योग्राफी की बात करना. ट्राई टू लिंक इट थ्रू योर थियोरीज. इज इट फाइन? ओके, हमने भी कुछ प्रोग्राम्स लिए हैं फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. यू हैव पीएम गति शक्ति. ठीक है, पीएम गति शक्ति प्रोग्राम लिया है हमने, जो मल्टी मॉडल कनेक्टिविटी करना चाहता है फॉर द ट्रांसपोर्ट, फॉर द इम्प्रूवमेंट ऑफ द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड रीजनल डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है, ग्रोथ पोल, ग्रोथ पॉइंट, ग्रोथ सेंटर भी लिंक्ड है कि कौन सा रीजनल डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, कॉरिडोर है कि टर्मिनल है, टर्मिनल में भी कौन सा ग्रोथ पोल, ग्रोथ सेंटर और ग्रोथ पॉइंट है. ऑल ऑफ यू क्लियर द रोल ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट इन रीजनल डेवलपमेंट? फाइन, राइट. वन मोर क्वेश्चन. दिस इज आस्क्ड इन योर एग्जामिनेशन. लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर एबल टू डू दिस. Small number of mega cities are playing a key role in organization of global economics and culture. Small number of mega cities are playing an important role in organization of global economics and culture. Explain. कुछ मेगा cities हैं वर्ल्ड में in organization of global economics and culture. Global culture. If I have to talk about the economics and culture of the world, there are very few cities that actually dominate and control global economics and global culture. What would be those cities? बेसिकली यही बोल रहा है ना, छोटी कुछ मेगा सिटीज हैं जो वर्ल्ड का ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक्स एंड कल्चर को डोमिनेट कर रही है, ऑर्गेनाइज कर रही है. व्हाट वुड बी दैट सिटीज बी? प्राइमेट सिटी कौन सी? हाँ बताओ, प्राइमेट सिटी कौन सी? मेक्सिको सिटी, मुंबई, न्यूयॉर्क, रियो डी जेनेरियो. ठीक है, ब्राजील, रियो डी जेनेरियो. और कोरिया, बुसन. हाँ, yes, there are few cities which are controlling the global economics and culture. ठीक है, like you have Rio de Janeiro, you have Busan, you have Bangalore, Ahmedabad. They are also trying to control the economics. Mumbai. ठीक है, primate city के example use कर सकते हैं जो कि economics को control कर रहा है, culture को control कर रहा है. How are they doing it? Cumulative acquisition or core periphery models: core periphery model, cumulative causation model, dominance over the world organization, WTO, ठीक है, जितने भी आपके वर्ल्ड बैंक्स है, IMF है, there is domination of few countries and the cities, the capital cities, they try to dominate. ये हो रहा है, काफी टाइम से हो रहा है, but then is it changing or not? It is changing now. Now you will see that many of, तो अगर आपको क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है, आपको पूछ रहा है कि the small number of mega cities, they are playing a key role in organization of global economics and culture. Explain. तो हाँ कर रहे हैं, but then there are other emerging powers also that are coming. अभी तक कुछ ही करें. The rise of global south, the rise of cities like ढाका अब rise कर रहा है, ठीक है. तो you can also write some point of it as a contrary point, ठीक है. कुछ पॉइंट आप एक पैराग्राफ में ये भी बोल सकते हो कि हाँ some of them have control, but now the things are changing, the global south is taking their role, ठीक है. So you've written the question, right? Some of the cities, some of the countries, right? Mega city refers to a city. What is a mega city? Which have a population greater than 5 to 7 million, ठीक है. 10 million या 1 million बोल रहा हूँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ 5 to 7 million से. Mega city refers to the largest city with a population of about 5 to 7 million, and in some countries it can exceed up to 10 million, like China and India. These cities are the cities of large scale industrialization and development. The cities have played an important role in development of American and European economies. कुछ cities ने बहुत important role play किया है in the development of European and American economies, like Chicago, Birmingham, Paris, Boston. They have played a very important role in the development of these. However, since 1980s, there has been changes in the landscape of mega cities. As first point you can write, more numbers of mega cities have emerged with larger population size. Second, a large number of mega cities are emerging on the southern continents of Africa and South America and Asia. Example, Brazil mein you have Rio de Janeiro, Indonesia, Jakarta and Manila. They are shifting the capital, they are shifting their things. India, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Mumbai. Africa, Abuja and Kano. The mega cities are reorganizing, write one line, mega cities are reorganizing global economics and culture. अब हम कह रहे हैं कि कुछ मेगा सिटीज जो हैं, अब जो साउथ वाली इसमें हैं, they are now reorganizing the economics and culture. That means there is emergence of the Rio de Janeiro, there is emergence of Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Abuja, Kano. They are emerging, and they are trying to reorganize the economics which was the economics of Chicago. जो शिकागो को एडवांटेज था, जो न्यूयॉर्क को एडवांटेज था, जो ब्रिटेन को एडवांटेज था, जो पेरिस को एडवांटेज था, अब वो एडवांटेज यहाँ पे आ रहा है. कैसे? हाउ आर दे रीऑर्गेनाइजिंग? वन, वेरी गुड. सो वन इज शिफ्टिंग ऑफ इंटरनेशनल हेडक्वार्टर्स. सेकंड, हाँ, बट डेमोग्राफिक चेंजेस के साथ लिंक्ड क्या है? इकोनॉमी से लिंक करो, उसको लिंक करो इंडस्ट्रीज. इट इज लीडिंग टू इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ऑफ दीज cities and which is linked to deindustrialization of the past cities. The deindustrialization and the deindustrialization of the old and the new industrialization of the south. So industrialization हो रहा है south का और deindustrialization हो रहा है आपका old mega cities का. So one is deindustrialization and decentralized pattern. The second is the shifting of the important international centers or fine, okay. The globalization and the assertive role played by the economies here. China कितना assertive role play कर रहा है? OBOR talk about connectivity, infrastructure development. लिखो ये point. The new megacities are reorganizing the global economics. The new megacities are reorganizing the global economics. First point, the industrialization of the south is linked with deindustrialization, of the traditional production center. Example, Dhaka, Busan, etc. एक तो खुद डेवलप हो रही है और वहां पे deindustrialize करें. Second, what are they further doing is second point, that the new mega cities are now becoming growth poles for spreading the development towards eastern subcontinents and the southern subcontinents. Third, emerging trade points, training centers, international institutions is reaffirming the reorganization of global culture, the reorganization of global economics. ठीक है, तो one, it is changing the global economics. How is it changing the global culture? हाँ, वो culture क्या होता है वो नहीं, how is it changing? How is it changing? Yes, there is shift from westernization to cosmopolitization. There's shift from, there have been efforts to take for the promotion of local language. ठीक है, Tel Aviv, there's Mandarin language that is being promoted. It is no longer about the Western domination. So first point, that the mega cities have become a vantage point to challenge traditional Western domination, and there is development of local languages. Example, promotion of Mandarin, development of Hebrew, that they are changing the culture. Second point, सिर्फ ये लोग culture और language नहीं change कर रहे हैं, but also understand political domination और political culture change हो रहा है. जब आपके नए इंस्टीट्यूशंस आते हैं, जब आपके नए पॉलिटिकल इंस्टीट्यूशंस आपके रियाद में आ रहा है, दुबई में आ रहा है, दिल्ली में आ रहा है, तो इट इज ऑल्सो चेंजिंग द पॉलिटिकल कल्चर. सो व्हेन इट सेज कल्चर, डोंट सिंपली टॉक अबाउट फूड, फेस्टिवल, लैंग्वेज, ड्रेस अलोन. ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट कल्चर कह रहा है, ऑल्सो मूव ऑन टू पॉलिटिकल कल्चर. हम इंटरनेशनल लेवल की बात करें तो वील ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट पॉलिटिकल कल्चर. द सेकेंड वन इज द न्यू मेगा सिटीज. The new mega cities, emerging political centers are emerging political centers defining emerging geopolitical role to be exercised by Delhi, Dubai, Riyadh, South Africa, etc. Third point, there is creation of new regional alliances like RCEP, SCO, AUKUS, etc. So कैसे कुछ mega cities पहले dominate कर रही थी और कैसे अब global culture और global economics आपका with the creation of new mega cities, with the creation of new centers is changing, right? क्या करना चाहिए? Self conclusion, how do you conclude? We've given the description that how is this happening. Do you really think that New York, Paris, they have lost their hold? अभी भी there is a very strong hold of the old mega cities. अभी भी काफी hold है. न्यूयॉर्क, पेरिस एंड बर्लिन, दे हैव वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग. तो लिखो एक बार. एंड उससे भी ज्यादा इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू गो फॉर ग्लोबल कोऑपरेशन. योर एसडीजी 17 सेज क्या? इट्स नॉट यू वर्सेस यू, इट इज नॉट दे वर्सेस us. It is about the cooperation to fight problems like we have looming problems in front of us, climate change and the various other. You have terrorism, you have global instability that is going on. Cyber security threats, so that has to be with them. You need the cooperation other than this versus them, right? While there is emergence of new mega cities, their impact on development will remain limited until they can manage issues like conflict and climate change. Full stop. New mega cities do not have enough representation on global scale as they have limited resources and influence and small influence. Therefore, the traditional large mega cities still continue to have dominance like Paris, New York, Berlin. ठीक है. Explain लिखा था, ठीक है. Elaborate लिखा होता तो I could have done only the older cities. It is saying explain. क्या आपको क्या लगता है? Do you think कि हाँ यही है या new mega cities हैं या पुरानी मेगा सिटीज हैं? You'll have to explain that small number of mega cities are controlling the economics and culture. तो you can say कि हाँ कर रहे हैं, WTO में strong hold है, international institutions हैं, वहाँ पे traditional centers हैं, but then the things are changing. When it's a organization of the culture and economics, जब भी इसकी बात करते आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को चेंज करने की बात करो तो उसमें हम नए मेगा सिटीज भी ले आएंगे और हम फिर बाद में ये बोलेंगे कि नहीं, still today they have limited resource, they have limited influences. The old mega cities do continue to hold a strong viewpoint. ठीक है, आप एक्सप्लेन करो कि क्या हो रहा है और क्या एक्चुअल ट्रेंड चल सकता है और ट्रेंड कैसे बढ़ रहा है, राइट? ओके.